10-minute call for the top of the order. 10-minute call. Course has been measured at 545 meters. The time allowed will be 82 seconds. 82 seconds will be the time allowed. Yeah, 3 minutes for the first on course. Please wrap up your walks and clear the ring. Top of the order on the move from the warm-up area, please clear the ring. Next up here in the Turtle Creek Casino International Ring, we'll have our Young Rider team competition at the North American Youth Championships. Order for round one, selected from a draw, top 6 teams. We'll have 8 competing top 6 teams. We'll be back for round 2. Teams that do not qualify for the second round, those riders.
First competition, first round of 2. Jump on the podium position.
Well, first rider headed out on course here in Traverse City on this Friday of the Gotham North FEI North American Youth Championships for jumping, presented by USHJA. Big day here in Traverse City as these young riders take to team competition. Several teams coming forward in this young rider division. We have 8 teams to be exact. We have over 30 starters today, 34 specifically, representing nations including the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So lots of up-and-coming talent. Very impressive display of that talent yesterday in that first qualifier. These riders earned points towards individual qualification as well as team points. First team to take to this team day 2-round final. So Zone 1, their first rider, Layla Kurbanov and Atois Deprim. Layla aboard the 12-year-old Selle Francais mare. Layla herself, very accomplished young rider. Carries forth 2.74 penalties, those calculated as a result of yesterday's Table C class, that faults converted speed round. Of course, it was Tanner Karotkin who took the win there, so he now sits on 0 penalties in the lead. The rest of the penalties determined accordingly. So Layla still on the clear at the moment, first to navigate this course. First of 34 in the first round. Only the top 6 teams will advance, as well as any individuals who qualify for that second round. And giving it quite the ride here, just 2 obstacles from home. Very technical track here, built by Anderson Lima. Just 1 away from the first clear round, and it is a first clear. So Layla Kurbanov records 0 score for her team from Zone 1, coming forth on 17.21 combined penalties, while the riders' first round points transfer over to the team. The top 3, the highest of those being discarded if they are a team of 4. Zone 10 represented next. We just saw them take the silver medal in the junior category right before this, hoping for a strong finish. In the young rider division as well, this is Zoe Brown aboard the Harley Brown Equestrian entry chase, 15-year-old Holsteiner gelding by Coleman. Zoe, a recent winner of Grand Prix action at the Desert Horse Park. Topped several elite professionals there on that occasion. Also winner of the 2021 Talent Search Finals. And PCHA Grand Prix Rookie Rider of the Year. Very successful young athlete coming here from California to compete in these North American Youth Championships. Her horse Chase has jumped up to the meter 50 level, qualified for the 2020 Prix de State Zone 10 team. Already giving a great ride to this round. Again, 80 seconds the time allowed for this first round track. They'll jump the same course again a second time if they do qualify for that second round. Coming into the triple combination, has that B element down. 1 stride and then 2. So yesterday, the name of the game was all about speed. Today, speed definitely plays a factor. You don't want to be over that time allowed, which it looks like. She might just tick over. Looks like she's good, 81.45. So just the 1 rail down for Zoe Brown. Records 4 faults for the team from Zone 10.
Reference time 72.07 and 81.45 are both within the 82 second time allowed to start this first round of team competition here in the young rider division.
So we've seen a clear and a 4.
Those rounds for the first rider from the team representing Zone 5 and 7.
Alexandra Pilot up next for Zone 5. Sped into the top 3 in that speed round yesterday. Was first out of the gate. They really had to chase her. It was only Tanner Karotkin and Sam Walker who were able to improve that time. She's aboard Hyperbolics, 10-year-old Dutch warm blood gelding by Berlin. Former gold medalist, double gold medalist, in fact, here at the North American Youth Championships in 2018. Competed at the junior level, now back to compete at the young rider level. Also champion in the high amateur classic in 2017. That was at the Washington International Horse Show. 2022 champion in the high amateurs at the Devon Horse Show. So very successful in the amateur owner jumper division. 2019 winner of the Christy Conrad Trophy for most points earned throughout the Winter Equestrian Festival and Equitation. So many of these young riders building off successful equitation careers, serving them well in the jumpers. So many important lessons you learn from those equitation years. So just bringing one down on her way. Coming home to this last line on the 8. So just the 8 for Alexandra Pilot and Hyperbolics. 8 to add to her individual score of just 0.32 penalties. Her team of zone 5 and 7 sits on 5.68 penalties coming into this round. Riley Beitenhuis next to jump this track. She's jumping for Canada, team 2. Two Canadian teams here in the starting order in the young rider division. Riley aboard Livorno for Hannah Beitenhuis. 11-year-old Hannah Varian gelding by Lavello. Very top competitor in her home nation of Canada. 4th place in the Caledon National $30,000 Grand Prix. 6th in a $25,000 Grand Prix as well. Very accomplished pair, unfortunately bringing that U.S. equestrian fence down. We saw that fall quite a bit in the junior division as well. Very careful fence. Couple of the same elements here. I'm going to drop that first of the combination there as well. Bit of a short 7 strides to the North American Youth Championships Oxer. So continuing on the 8. 4 team members here for Riley. So the potential for a drop score. Already seen Canada stand atop that podium in the children's division. That was yesterday morning. Ended in not 1 but 2 jump offs, 1 for gold and 1 for bronze. A little spooky there towards that fence 11, but incredible riding stepping in and clear down that last line. Really fought for that. So 8 fault round there for Riley. So far, some excellent jumping on display here in this young rider division. So a combined team coming up from zone 3, 8, and 9. Not enough riders from those zones to fill an entire team, so they have joined their efforts. First from those teams is Maggie Hill, Carreras HD, the ride. Maggie representing Zone 9. Aboard the Summit Farms entry, 13-year-old Westphalian gelding by Carico. Maggie, a student at the University of Nebraska. Very successful junior hunter career for this young rider. 2-time champion, the Devon Horse Show, the Junior Hunters. So champion at all the indoor horse shows, including Harrisburg National Horse Show and Washington International Horse Show. And the Junior Hunters. Has also stepped into the high amateur jumper ranks. Top placings at the Winter Equestrian Festival and in the National Grand Prix level. Trained with top trainers at all the levels. Hunter trainer Jack Towell, Liza Boyd. The jumpers, she's trained under Derek Henney, Hardin Towell. Oh, unfortunately, just a bit of spookiness there at the water. It provides such a different aspect of show jumping, one that you see at so many different championships. Just giving her horse a chance to look at that water definitely just caught him by surprise. Just adds another element of depth for these athletes and horses. And it looks like Maggie is going to choose to retire today, take fence 1 as a courtesy fence. And that on a high note. So that will translate to quite a few faults on her team. However, she does have a drop score to work with. So being the first rider, that does place a bit of pressure on the rest of her remaining teammates, but they can still come back strong, currently sitting in 3rd place coming into this round.
The rider entered today on a score of 5.01. Team Canada 1 with the 2nd best team total.
Team 1 from Canada. This is Eric Crowett, first of their riders, Cactus de Cosnier. 10-year-old Celle Francais Gelding for the Canadian rider. Competed in the juniors last year to a silver medal team finish at the North American Youth Championships, making it back for his 2nd year in a row, now in the young riders. This first team from Canada brings forth 10.07 penalties. Still to come, their anchor rider, Sam Walker, sitting on just 0.15 penalties, 2nd place in that speed class yesterday. Just a hair behind that winner, Tanner Karotkin. Just a true masterclass in speed. Eric stepping up to the international levels just last year for the first time. Just going to drop the B element of that triple combination. That's the only element we've seen cause any trouble just yet. So coming home with just the 4 to add. Overall, very good score. We've still seen just the 1 clear round. That was Layla Kurbanov and Atois de Prim for Zone 1. Yet to see a repeat clear round. Sheer Leviton next to go. For Zone 4, they carry forward 6.17 penalties. Sheer aboard Vitus K. 12-year-old. Hanoverian gelding by Verdi. Sheer coming off a recent circuit championship in the high amateurs at the Winter Equestrian Festival for 2022. Incredible accomplishment there. So many top horses and riders competing in that division throughout the circuit. Also 4th in the $50,000 National Grand Prix World Equestrian Center in Ocala just this past July. Took a win in 2-star Grand Prix and meter 45 speed action. The Longines Global Champions Tour Monaco. It was in 2016. Also most notably for this horse, took 4th place in National Grand Prix action during the week of the American Gold Cup here in Traverse City last year. Of course, that event returning here later in the fall. Final week of 13 weeks of competition here in Traverse City. So it's still on the clear, working on the 2nd clear round here for Sheer Leviton. And she's within that time allowed, so she keeps it on the clear, records 1 clear round score for her team, that Zone 4 team. We just saw Zone 4 take the gold medal in the junior division. So chasing another gold.
Eva Fisherman on course next with Alvaro second.
So moving on to the second rider for Zone 1. This is Eva Fisherman and Casalvano.
First combination on course is for Zone 1.
Zone 1 working on a score of 0 so far. Layla Kurbanov recording that clear round, adding to the 17.21 penalties carrying forward. And Eva going to be a freshman at the University of Maryland in the fall. Rides the 13-year-old Holsteiner gelding by Casal. Former ride, the 5-star level by Daniel Deusser, with several 5-star wins at prestigious events worldwide. Has gone on to help this rider earn the team gold medal at the Winter Equestrian Festival and U25 team competition. They're a great opportunity for young riders to be a part of a team, simulate a little bit what North American Youth Championship team action looks like. It's already one down in that double combination for this pair. So just coming into this final line on the 8. So she keeps it to 8 there, records an 8-fault score for her team to add to the 0 from Layla Kurbanov. Again, a team of 4 will have the opportunity to drop 1 score, depending on how the upcoming riders Emma Seving and Skylar Fields jump. Kate Hovland and Cruz are next for Zone 10. Zone 10 coming forward on 12.74 total penalties to this round. Already a 4-fault round from Zoe Brown. Kate, a previous competitor at the USEF Junior Jumper National Championships in Harrisburg, competed as an individual on that occasion, now here in Traverse City as part of a team. So competed last year at North American Youth Championships for Zone 10, member of that Zone 10 team in the junior division, has now moved up to the young rider level. Also a very versatile rider, qualified for and competed in the USEA American Eventing Championships. That was at Tryon International Equestrian Center in North Carolina. This horse has been a great ride for her. As you can see, she's still on the clear coming into the triple combination. Winner at Desert International Horse Park. Coming around to this last line, looking to record a clear round for Zone 10. She's going to do just that. You hear the audience supporting her, very happy to see that clear round for Zone 10. Kate Hovland and a Cruz. Nothing to add for that team. For Zones 5 and 7, this is Alexander Alston. He's aboard prestigious for Alston Alliance LLC. 15-year-old Westphalian gelding by Consento. student at the Savannah College of Art and Design, but also very decorated young rider, winner of the U25 team event in Florida. Also bronze medalist for his Zone 5, the North American Youth Championships in 2021, winner of the Gladstone Equitation Cup in the past. Also a top 5 finish in the USEF Dover Saddlery Medal Finals. Really starting to make waves in the upper levels of show jumping. Really counting on that clear round from Alex today for this Zone 5 and 7 team. 8 fault round from Alexandra Pilot. There's a slight rub on the way out of that triple combination, but that is still standing. Well, he gets the job done. A clear round added to that Zone 5 and 7 record. So sets himself up very nicely for individual competition. Currently carrying a 3.88 penalty score. So up next for Canada, Cassie Gorsline and Viva La Vida. .13-year-old Zangerscheid mare by Verdi for the Canadian. Another team on a score of 8 so far. 21 total penalties recorded from that first round of competition. So just going to pull that oxer right there by the in-gate. Very tricky location. Definitely meant to pull the horses in towards the gate slightly. So 8 penalties there for Cassie. Within that time allowed, though, records 8 for Canada. John Angus, W Tonics 0. Hero, rather. John competing for the combined teams Zone 3, 8, and 9. Representative from Zone 3 himself aboard Stephanie Angus's 19-year-old Dutch warm-blood gelding by Ogano Sit. He's competed under the lights in Wellington together, also Junior Jumper Championships. Several prestigious venues for this pair. 5 years under his belt as an amateur rider. Still lucky enough to be competing here at the North American Youth Championships. And putting in an excellent clear round so far. His team currently sitting on 13.31 total faults, and this round plus every round to come. Unfortunately, one rail down there, but a very important score for him. with teammate Maggie Hill having retired with the fault at the open water. If you can keep it to the 4, this will be a very good way to set up this team. So the last 2 fences are going to drop as well. So that's 12 faults. Quick round though, around 71 seconds. But with the 3 down, that does mean that will count for this team. Next rider is competing as an individual for Zone 4. Sophia Ahern. She's aboard Quick Bob, Esperanza Imports owned 10-year-old Holsteiner mare by Verdi. Student at Florida Atlantic University. I'm gonna have an early rail down there. Not exactly the tone she would have liked to set for this round, but hopefully can keep it to just the 4. It's been competing on the U25 circuit with this horse. Top 10 finish in Wellington in that U25 Grand Prix just this past January. Prior to that, taking top 10 results up to the 3-star level with Michael Murphy aboard. Michael bringing this horse up through the 2 and 3-star levels before passing the reins on to Sophia. Just taking a little circle here on her way back to that open water. This time gets the job done. It's certainly going to have time along with these few rails down. So 22 faults to record, several for time there, as well as rails down and the refusal. Just an individual competing there, so her score will not impact any of the teams. So Canada's first team returns their second rider, Lauren Esdale, VM Dios d'Avril. Pauline Esdale's 13-year-old, Celle Francais gelding by Diamant de Semilly. Former competitor at the North American Youth Championships. Took a team bronze medal in 2021 and a 4th place overall individually on that occasion. Also winner of the 2021 Arenament Classic 2-star welcome stake. Welcome stake taking place at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. Top placings along the Major League Show Jumping Tour as well. The 2-star level, of course, that tour offering 2-star and 5-star show jumping. This horse she's been partnered with since early 2021. Has brought her up to her first FEI competitions. Also several team appearances and victories in the FEI divisions. Just unfortunate refusal there at that fence. Skinny vertical there. Ring crew very quickly going to put that fence back together so she can resume her round. Currently the Canada 1 team is on 4 faults. That one rail for Eric Crowett puts them on the 4. But 4 team members in total, so 1 drop score allowed for this team. Have another rail fall, the B element of that triple combination. So rail down, also the 4 for the refusal, likely going to start ticking into time as well. So 14 to add in total for the Canadian rider. Hoping to be the drop score for that team. The next 2 riders can come in and put strong rounds in. Second ride for Zone 4. Already 1 clear round under their belt. Certainly a rider capable of producing another one. Zaina Rizvi, an excellent for Peacock Ridge LLC aboard the 13-year-old Dutch warm blood gelding by Cicero Zed. Already a winner from the equitation level all the way up to the jumpers at the international level, winner of the Maclay finals in 2021. Also team gold at Prix d'Estates in 2021. Topped both the team and individual podium with the gold medal in the junior division at NAYC in 2021. It's a very successful year for them. Also jumping into the FEI levels, taking a win here in Traverse City in that 2-star welcome stake earlier in this Great Lakes Equestrian Festival. Topping a $30,000 National Grand Prix in Tryon as well recently. So very decorated pair with this horse. She has won 3 team gold medals and 1 individual gold medal. So looking to add to that number here this week. Excellent. Also earning the Show Jumping Hall of Fame Horse of the Year award last year. Putting in quite an excellent round. Very aptly named horse. A second clear round would set them up for a very successful day here in team competition. So it is another clear for Zaina Rizvi. 2 clears for Zone 4, zone that took the gold medal in that junior division just this morning. So already off to a flying start in the young riders as well. So 6.17 total penalties, nothing to add there just yet. 2 more riders to come, including current leader Tanner Karotkin. However, they are neck and neck with zones 5 and 7. They've recorded 1 8-fault score, 1 fault-free score to add to their 5.68 penalties. But up next, we turn to Zone 2. Hunter Champy, second rider to come forward for this zone. She rides Escada, the MDHT equestrian entry, 13-year-old Dutch warm blood mare. Another medal winner already here at NAYC in 2019. Took team silver and individual 4th place overall, just narrowly missing that podium. 2019 team and individual gold medalist at the Nations Cup Canada. This is just the first rider for Zone 2. They only have 3 team members, so all scores will count. This 4 will be carried on, plus any other faults that she accumulates in this round. pair took a top 10 finish in the $100,000 National Grand Prix at Saugerties. Also top competitors in the high junior jumpers in Wellington. A great jumping effort through this triple combination. Just 2 from home, looking to hopefully keep this on the 4. So 4 faults it is for Hunter Champy. It's a very good round to start out with for that team. 12.36 penalties coming forward into this division. So we've seen the first 2 riders for all the teams of 4, the first rider for the 1 team with 3 riders. So 2 more rotations of these teams. There you see the current leaderboard, but everything could certainly change. We still have 2 more rotations of riders to come in just this first round. Then the top 6 teams will advance to the second round, plus any individuals who qualify. Third rider for Zone 1, Emma Seving. She's competing aboard Brighton Bay. Her own 12-year-old Dutch warm blood gelding by Ultimo. Team gold medalist at the 2020 Prix de States. Also took home an individual 3rd place finish, bronze medalist there. That was aboard this horse. Several other top mounts for Emma as well. Winner at the NAL finals. And a student at the University of Texas at Austin. An unfortunate refusal there at the last element of that triple combination. Had the back bar of B down. Just couldn't quite get up to that last element. So coming back around to try this one again. Gets through it just fine this time. So coming home on 19 total faults. A couple in the field out there, also some to add for time.
Zone 1 now with a clear and 8 and a 19 with 1 rider fitted over in round 1. Individual up next, Nicole Velasco, the rider from Mexico. Look at Daddy's Destiny King of Fall, the style of this 10-year-old man.
So working our way through the remaining athletes to come, we have another individual competing next. Nicole Velasco Magana, Daddy's Destiny, the ride for Alvaro Velasco. Aboard the 10-year-old Oldenburg mare by Comme Il Faut. First of 2 individuals competing for Mexico in this young rider division. No team put together this year. However, some very strong individuals coming forward. This pair also winners up to the 2-star level, taking wins, multiple wins in Monterey, had aboard the Major League Show Jumping Tour. Also a win in 2-star action in Miami, the Longines Global Champions Tour stop there. And former ride of the Miami Grand Prix winner there this year, Katrin Eckermann of Germany. Produced this horse up through the young levels, passed the reins on to Nicole to compete across North America. Putting in an excellent round here. Slight rub at the B element there of the triple combination, but still on the clear. She could secure herself a spot to return for individual competition. It is a clear round for Nicole. 77.56 the time recorded on the clock. The rider for Mexico puts in a clear round effort. Third rider for Zone 10 next to jump, Alexa Leong, riding Carlson. 11-year-old Hanoverian gelding by Chaco Blue. Alexa heading to Texas A&M University in the fall. Took a win at the U25 Jumper Classic at Temecula. Also second place in a Grand Prix at Blenheim in June. Part of that Junior Nations Cup team for the USA at Thunderbird this year. Took the bronze medal on that occasion. Also very successful here in Traverse City so far this summer. Actually took a catch ride into the Junior Hunter National Championships, that 3-3 division, and it claimed the overall 3-3 championship. But now back here for her true focus, show jumping. Her horse Carlson, second place finish in the $25,000 Grand Prix at the Oaks in San Juan Capistrano. Also sixth in the Grand Prix at Temecula recently. Double clear on that Nations Cup team, that Junior Nations Cup at Thunderbird. Lots of clear rounds for this pair. Alexa, just such a strong rider. Just staple on West Coast show scene. Zone 10, currently just a 4-fault score and a clear. Could drop that 4 faults if the remaining 2 riders jump clear. And unfortunately, the last is going to go. You hear the crowd gasp at that final rail dropping. Bit of a shock there. It was such a well-ridden round. Bit of a heartbreaker there, but 4 faults to add. So one of those 4 will have to count. And depending on how the final team rider, Elena Haas, jumps, there may be more to add. They may be able to finish on 16.74 total penalties, but we'll see how the rest of that shakes out. Sophia Cady next to jump for Zone 7. She's on the team competing with Zones 5 and 7 combined. Currently 0 fault score from Alex Alston and an 8 fault score from Alexandra Pilot. Sophia piloting Dalen, 11-year-old Holsteiner mare by Larimar. Top finishes, equitation championships, including a 6th place at 2021 USDF medal finals. Champion in the equitation at Capital Challenge as well the same year. Zone 7 high junior jumper, horse of the year just last year. Very successful year with this horse. This horse, the former ride of Ireland's Shane Sweetnam. Jumped up to the 5-star level with Shane in the irons. Also briefly ridden by Ireland's Kevin Mealiff, the USA's Jen Waxman. But jumping into the top ribbons with Shane in 5-star action in Wellington. Also highly successful in the young horse divisions with Shane. Very successful here in the North American Youth Championships, recording a clear round for Sophia Cady. Absolutely a foot perfect round. So they record the second clear round for that team from zones 5 and 7. Currently sit in the lead on just 5.68 penalties, assuming they can drop that 8-fault score. Charlize Casas coming up later in the order.
Third rider for Canada 2, and so far 2 8-chip hosted.
Canada 2 next to send in their third rider, Riley Poole Coley and Claire Chen. Canadian rider aboard her own 12-year-old Westphalian mare by Calestis. Very successful upper-level jumper prior to being imported from Europe. Now very successful with Riley in the irons. Been part of the Canadian Young Riders team. Several top-level wins for this pair. Attended the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair. So pony finals back in her pony days, those taking place at the Kentucky Horse Park just a few hours south of here. Certainly several top riders competing there at that event that will be competing on this stage in the future. This one of the most important championships that these young riders have. A little bit of trouble there at the water. The flag does go up, so 4 faults to record. A bit thrown off their game as a result. So going to circle back, try that next fence again. The open water meant to test so many different things, but one of them, the ability to open and shorten your horse's stride. So it's very normal for the course designer to put a fence very quickly after that open water. Have to really collect that stride and balance to keep the next one up. And an unfortunate second refusal is going to result in elimination for Riley. So that does mean that the 2 8-fault scores recorded for Canada 2 so far are going to count towards their overall score. That adds to their 21 penalties coming forward. Likely not going to place them in the top 6, sitting in 8th place at this point.
Dominic Gibbs up next. Zones 3, 8, and 9 represented by his mover Dominic out of zone 8, and is now presented by the Mountain King Ranch, the 10-year-old. Amazing. 13.31 the total coming into this first round of team competition, and so far.
Next rider for the team representing zones 3, 8, and 9. This is the zone 8 competitor, Dominic Gibbs aboard Mountain King Ranch LLC owned Amazing. Amazing, a 10-year-old Swedish warmblood mare by Baltimore. Dominic, such a decorated athlete already. Washington Equitation Finals champion last year. The year prior was the Maclay Finals champion. Winner here just last summer in a 2-star welcome stake. That was aboard the same horse. Also competitor for the Zone 8 junior team at North American Youth Championships just last year. Was also a part of the Zone 8 Prix d'Estates team in 2021. Still chasing that coveted individual gold medal. It's going to pull that rail right there by the in-gate. Bit of a distracting fence there, a lot going on. The in of the triple combination goes as well, so continuing on the 8. Team from zone 3, 8, and 9 already with 1 retired and 1 on 12. So all the scores to come will have to count, so that 8 goes forward onto the total score to add to the 13.31 penalties they carried forward into this competition. However, still a chance they could secure a spot in that final round of competition. Of course, the top 6 to return. They currently sit in 7th place. There you see our beautiful VIP pavilion here at the Great Lakes Equestrian Festival. So Canada 1 up next to jump. Their third rider is Sarah Tyndale and Elko van Hofternalen. With the ride for Tyndale Farms aboard the 12-year-old Swedish warm-blood gelding by Elvis Terput. Canadian studying at Queen's University. Took junior jumper championship honors at the Royal Winter Fair in 2017. Also a competitor here at NAYC last year. Rode to a young rider team bronze medal placing. Also competing up to the Grand Prix level in both the United States and Canada. Very accomplished horse here, has jumped the $1 million Grand Prix of Ocala. Also competed up to the meter 60 level internationally. This pair topped a U25 Grand Prix at Angelstone recently. Big win for them. Very big horse, but described by Sarah as a gentle giant. Actually uncertain of his exact size because there's no measuring stick tall enough to measure him. It's a very tall horse. But getting a very good ride from Sarah right now. Clear and just 1 from home. Excellent effort there within the time allowed, so she does record a clear round for Canada 2. And only 1 team member remains, Sam Walker, to come as the anchor rider. So they hope to drop that score of 14. That would put them on 14.07 total penalties and into 3rd place coming into the 2nd round of team competition. That would be a very good spot to be in. So just 2 more teams left to send their 3rd rider in. Up next for Zone 4, they're already on a clear slate here. Added on top of the 6.17 penalties they brought forward. Ellie Yeager, their next rider aboard Iceman Demuse, her own 14-year-old Belgian warmblood stallion. Ellie, of course, a very decorated equitation rider. Winner of nearly all the big equitation championships, the Washington Equitation Finals, USCF Platinum Performance Talent Search Finals, RW Much Equitation Championship, as well as a win here in Traverse City in the Dudley B. Smith Equitation Championship. We saw that win go to Taylor Madden earlier in the Great Lakes Equestrian Festival. Really has to fight through that double combination, but jumps out quite well. Iceman Demuse competing up to the 5-star level. Lots of success for this pair. And still on the clear at this point. Very fierce competitor, Ellie Yeager. Prior to Ellie, Skylar Riley had the ride. It's gonna pull the middle element of that triple combination, so 4 to add. Add 1 last stride there at the end and come down a little too quick on that back rail, so 8 faults to add there for Zone 4. But already 2 clear rounds. Current leader Tanner Karotkin can come in and secure another clear. They will finish on just the 6.17 penalties, setting themselves up very nicely for that 2nd round of competition where the medals will be decided. So 3rd rider for Zone 2, just 3 riders on this team. So just their second rider, rather. Mia Bagnato, the Elon Farm Entry Dundalk. 17-year-old Irish sport horse stallion by Douglas VDL. Just recently moving up with this horse into the high junior jumpers, but already quite successfully. Have jumped into the top results, getting to know one another along the way. Taken top placings on the low and medium junior jumpers, just moving up through the ranks. Learning from two previous riders of this horse, both Stella Manship and Jordan Coyle. This horse has actually won several puissance classes, so plenty of scope for this meter 45 track. It's also competed in the Spruce Meadows Derby. Very versatile ride. At 17 years old, still imparting wisdom on this young rider. And still on the clear, just one rail down for the first rider for Zone 2, Hunter Champy. So clear round, which ultimately is not going to come today for this rider. But a clear round would have put them in good position. It's still not terrible position. Now another rail falls. So the 8 going to record for Mia Bagnato. And with only 3 riders, all scores will count for Zone 2. They carry forward 12 on top of their 12.36 penalties coming into this round. Audrey Schulz still left to jump. She'll be the final team rider to go in this first round of team competition.
We'll start our final rotation.
Here you see our current standing. Zone 5 and 7 hold the lead. But everything still could change. We have one more rotation to jump this first round, and then the top 6 will return for another round of jumping. So anything can happen. Each rider still having to jump this course one more time. So final rider for Zone 1. This is Skylar Fields with Cornetta, 10-year-old Hanoverian mare by Baloo du Reventon. Skylar on the winning Prix d'Estates team, taking the gold medal in 2020, studying at Southern Methodist University. So very successful in U25 action with this horse. Many clear rounds, top results. A very competitive division. U25 being a great bridge between the junior amateur levels of the sport and the FEI levels, giving these young riders a chance to jump some bigger classes without having to go up against the very top professionals. Although at this point, some of the top professionals are under 25 years of age, so still a very competitive division there. Always impressive to see riders that bring home clear rounds and top results there. And not going to be a clear here today for Skylar. Another one to pull the back rail of that triple combination, the oxer there. Very delicate oxer. I've seen it come down quite a few times. Flies to the last in 5 strides. Just keeps it to the 1 down. 79:14 at the time on the clock for Skylar. So that team will drop the 19 faults from Emma Seving. They'll come forward with just 12 in round 2, 29-21, the total heading into round 2. Which hopefully will qualify them, but they have to wait and see how the last horse and rider combination goes for each of the remaining teams. Very stressful position to be in, being first to go and first to finish. Up next for Zone 10, Elena Haas and Santana. Riding the 11-year-old Oldenburg mare by Centadel. Elena attending Wake Forest University in North Carolina. Demon Deacons. Previous competitor at the North American Youth Championships on the Zone 10 junior team. Placed 4th individually at the 2021 at Prix States Junior Jumper National Championships. Also topped 2 National Grand Prix earlier this year. Several top horses that she competes with. Recently also jumped the Sun Life Derby at Spruce Meadows, so really moving up in the ranks. It's pulling that skinny vertical at 7. So Zone 10 working on a clear and 2 4-fault rounds. So they will advance on 8 faults regardless of the outcome of this round. So she does come home on the 4. One of those 4s is dropped, and it is 8 faults in total. So 20.74 faults carry forward. Just 1 round of competition under their belts. They sit in 4th place at this point. Only 2 teams have finished jumping though. So still subject to change. Next rider for the team currently holding the lead. This is Zone 5 and 7 combined team. Charlize Casas jumps the always faithful equine entry Mystique VZ, 10-year-old Belgian warm-blood mare by numero uno. A lot of pressure on this rider to jump a clear round already. 2 clears and 1 8-fault round for her team. If she can jump a clear, she keeps them on the 0 moving forward, and they hold their lead. They were the leaders coming into this team competition on just 5.68 penalties. With nothing to add, that would hold their lead in a very secure place, put them in a very promising position moving forward. Charlize, a student at Northwestern University, winner of several national Grand Prix over the past year, also topping a 2-star welcome stake. This horse helping her secure a win in U25 action in Kentucky and several wins in the high amateur owners. So she's still on the clear coming around to this last line. It's proven very difficult for some. If she can keep it to the clear, we'll be in very good shape moving forward. And she holds on to the lead for her team from zones 5 and 7. So they drop the 8-fault score from Alexandra Pilot. And that becomes a team moving forward into round 2 on a 0-fault score from that round. So they keep that 5.68. Headed into the second round, they'll be the last team to jump. They hold on to that lead. So excellent display of show jumping by Alex Alston, Sophia Cady, and Charlize Casas, those clear rounds. And up next, the final rider for Canada 2, Hallie Duke and Ilana, her own 9-year-old mare. Hallie, the U25 Canadian champion for the 2021 year. The second team from Canada currently sitting on 16 faults to add to their 21 bringing forward. Saw one rider with elimination, so hoping to drop that score and see how the rest of the teams shake out to determine whether they make it forward. Good ride there at the water, still on the clear. It's coming around to this tricky triple combination. Of course, designers have made it quite tricky to cover the spread of this middle oxer, but Hallie doing so with no issue. Sails the last within the time allowed, so it is a clear round. She's done what she had to do for her team. Now it's just a matter of waiting to see how the rest of these athletes shake out. Currently still sitting in 8th place, so likely not going to make it back for that second round. Still one team for Canada remains in the running. Virginia Bonney, the final rider for zones 3, 8, and 9. Aboard Ephidea for Nina Bonney, 13-year-old Dutch warm-blood mare. Former competitor at the North American Youth Championships. 2017, she competed in the children's division, finishing with team gold and individual 4th place. Returned as a junior in 2019. Claimed the bronze medal individually on that occasion. And has also jumped on FEI Youth Nations Cup teams, winning the gold medal at the 2020 Palm Beach Masters. So very successful young rider, has also been on the winning U25 team at the Winter Equestrian Festival. So no shortage of medals for Virginia. Her team this time around not looking like they are in contention for a medal on 12 and 8 plus 1 retirement. So this score will count, so will the 12 and the 8 vaults. This a long-term partner for her. Very strong partnership together. So just a 4-fault round there for Virginia. Great performance from her. Her team is going to finish on 24 for this round to add to their 13.31 penalties. So a total of 37.31. They now sit in that 8th place position.
Canada won. They came into today on a total of 10.07, and then now with scores 4-14.
Well, anchor rider for Canada 2. This is the 2nd place finisher yesterday, returning on just 0.15 penalties. Very impressive Sam Walker. Sam rides for Marble Hill Farm aboard Evita. Evita, 13-year-old Dutch warm-blood mare by Cantorano. Has truly had an incredible season lately. Competed in that 5-star Grand Prix just under 1 week ago. Was one of only 4 clear rounds produced. So top 4 finish there for Sam against the very best of company. Very challenging Grand Prix there. Also won the Spruce Meadows Derby recently. And in his junior days, he was the 2018 ASPCA Maclay champion. Of course, Evita, the former ride of former world #1, Steve Gerdat. Very fast horse for Sam. A very impressive string of horses. But saving this horse for this specific event. Trying to clinch that clear round. A clear round from Sam Walker would put this Canada 1 team on just 4 faults moving forward. But it's not going to be a clear today. He rather surprisingly pulls that rail by the in-gate. flies the last. Very quick time, 75.99, but 4 faults for Sam Walker. So that Canada 1 team does drop their score of 14, recorded by Lauren Esdale. So 8 faults moving forward to add to their score of 10.07 coming into this round. Puts them in 3rd place on that 18.07. We only have 3 riders still to come, 2 of which are team riders, 1 more individual. So winner here yesterday just slightly edged out Sam Walker, who placed 2nd, but currently on 0 penalties in prime position. Tanner Karotkin, he's aboard Ideal, ride for Castlewood Farm and Sandalwood Farms. Aboard the 10-year-old Swedish warm-blood gelding by Cardento. Tanner, just such an impressive young rider. Already FEI winner up to the 5-star level, took an FEI 5-star win just last week aboard a brand new mount for him. He's also competed this horse up to the 5-star level. 2nd in a 5-star class at Thunderbird together. Also U25 wins during the Winter Equestrian Festival and top Grand Prix placings. Tanner himself has made 2 Senior Nations Cup team appearances already. Also junior jumper champion at the Devon Horse Show. Quite an effort over that open water, but it looks to be good. Still on the clear. Very careful, hot-blooded horse. Tanner giving an excellent ride. If he can keep this to the clear, Zone 4 would finish on a clear slate, just 6.17 penalties. They would slot into 2nd place, but only by a margin of about 1 penalty. So sails the last, 78.67 the time on the clock. Tanner Karotkin keeps his position at the top of the leaderboard. He also secures another clear round for Zone 4, so they drop Ellie Yeager's 8. They finish on a clear slate just to add to the 6.17 penalties, so they're in 2nd place. They're very close behind Zones 5 and 7. So it truly could be anyone's game, depending on how these athletes perform in the 2nd round of jumping. Still 1 more team rider to go, Audrey Schulz, competing for Zone 2, just 3 riders on this team. She's the anchor rider aboard Lord Up. Returns on 4.41 penalties. This is the Riverbrook Sport Horses entry, 11-year-old Holsteiner gelding by Lordanos. Coming off 3 recent 2-star FEI wins at Split Rock and Lexington. Also 2 third-place finishes in equitation finals last year, both the USDT finals and Maclay finals. On the bronze medal winning team at junior jumper finals just last year. Placings up to the 4-star level for this pair, the Devon Horse Show. Also 2-star action. Top results at the Longines Global Champions Tour at Miami. Took a 9th place individually at the junior jumper finals in 2021. We also saw this rider win a national Grand Prix, her newest mount Darkido recently. Just another to not quite reach the spread on that. Tulip Oxer. Really encourages down that 5-stride line. So keeps it to the 4, very quick round there. That will count. All adding up for 16 faults for Zone 2 in this 2nd round, adding to the 12.36 penalties carried forward from yesterday's competition. They'll sit in 5th place, so they do find themselves returning for that 2nd round. Top 6 competitors making it back. So there you see the top 6 that have qualified for round 2. They'll return in reverse order of merit. So Zone 5 and 7 will send their athletes in last at that pole position. But also added pressure there. 7 and 8 go to Canada 2 in zone 3, 8, and 9. So unfortunately not coming back for that round, but we do still have one competitor, not a team member, but an individual competing for Mexico. This is Martina Franco-Stefan, Dulce Emerald d'Or, her ride, the 9-year-old Selle Francais mare. Just an early rail for them at the Just World International fence. We actually haven't seen that fall too many times today. It's certainly fallen quite a bit in FEI competition throughout this series. Martina, a former gold medalist, took the team gold at NAYC 2019, also team silver in 2018, so very avid competitor at these championships. Also several times Mexican national champion at the different height levels. Winner of Mexico City Longines Global Champions Tour action. Jumping this horse up to the 2-star level recently. Has been here in Traverse City for quite some time, acclimating to the atmosphere here. Just an absolutely beautiful place to jump in the summer. Just not quite having that forward momentum through that triple combination required. Just a little bit of a green moment there at that fence. Very different looking. It has a bit of a bridge underneath. So it's airy. So just winding up to try this last line one more time. Competing as an individual, the score will the team score, but definitely not the round she would have hoped for. So 41 faults in total with the rails and the time. So that does conclude the first round of jumping for this FEI North American Youth Championship Young Rider Team Final. Quite a bit of prize money up for grabs in this event today, but it's zones 5 and 7 and zone 4 sitting in the spots. Quite a bit of a discrepancy, the first and second, then the third. But you can't predict what's going to happen. We could see anything unfold in this coming round. These top 6 teams will all send their athletes to jump one more time, and the medals will be determined based off of the results there. So the ring crew is going to spruce up the footing just a bit. We will be back shortly with that second round of team competition here at the North American Youth Championships.
Canada won in the third at 18.07. The team for the zone is 10 currently in fourth with a total of 18.74. Zone 2 and 5th and zone 1 and 6. The top 6 teams will return to continue team competition. Those individuals from the teams that did not qualify for the second round still will be invited back for round number 2 as all penalties will be forward. So 5 round total competition. We'll be back underway here in about half an hour. 1:55 we'll get started.
highly commend who rode honor with a score of 68.971. Coming forward now to congratulate the United States team Calvin from Canada, who placed the bronze medal, and with him is Polo One, USCF President, handshaking and presenting the flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, your silver from Canada, Anna Spangled, by a 69.029.
After less than 5 minutes wait, kicking off around 10. A total of 29 in the second round. There's 6 of those riders individuals.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 gold medalist with a score of 69.294, picking another gold medal by Eva Fisherman.
Coming back in 6 individuals as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I call to rise in honor of the flag as we say the anthem of the country of the gold medalist. Please all rise. Honor the flag as we say the anthem of the United States of America. Many congratulations. Now let's have a group photograph of our medalists together. There you have your gold, silver, and bronze medalists from the 2022 FEI North American Youth Wrestler Championship Junior Individuals. So I'm going to invite our riders to return to those that did all the work. Folks Lamont, Xavier, Maggie, and Honor. 3 months ready for your lap of honor. So Ella, as a couple gold medalists, I think you know the way. Please lead off your other medal-winning colleagues on your lap of honor.
Creek Casino International Ring, and this kicks off round 2 of Tracy Young Rider competition. 6 individuals kick off this round.
We're officially kicking off the second round of this team competition, the Gotham North FEI North American Youth Championships presented by USHJA. We are on to round 2 for the young rider division, the final division on course today. They've already jumped their round 1. Now each of the qualifying athletes will jump this course, same track set by Brazil's Anderson Lima, second time. But they're returning for the teams in reverse order of merit. First, we have several individuals to see here. Individual competitors whose teams did not qualify, but still need to jump their individual round in order to compete for top honors in that individual final taking place on Sunday. First rider on course is Sophia Ahern, quick bob, competing for zone 4 as an individual. Which is the ride for Esperanza Imports LLC.
The arena is yours as the 2022 gold medalist for juniors.
Zone 4 emerging victorious in that junior rider division, taking the gold medal there for the team. Again, just a little bit of trouble at the water. It's open water causing quite a few faults in this division here today. But again, not competing for a team here, so only the pressure to perform well for herself. So going to jump the last fence as a or the first fence rather, as a courtesy fence. Sophia Ahern ends in retirement.
Right back for round 2 as an individual. This time the Canadian Riley
Another competitor as an individual, this time for Canada. This is Riley Boyton aboard Livorno. Several of these Canadian team members for the second team for Canada returning as individuals. So not quite going to cover the spread on that triple bar, very wide fence. Double combination, second element goes as well. So clear over the last, just 3 down on course today for Riley. 12 is going to be their score that they carry forward in individual competition. All of them trying to qualify for and do well in that individual final taking place on Sunday. So rider for Zone 8, his team not making it back for that team competition, but qualifying as an individual, Dominic Gibbs with the Mountain King Ranch entry, amazing. Dominic with just 2 rails down the first round of competition. Already very impressive jumper accolades. This horse taking him up to the top level, competing FEI competition. So on to a beautiful clear round here so far. When he records a clear round, he's within that time allowed. So he's redeemed himself 2 down just the round prior, but a clear round for Dominic Gibbs, an amazing, very amazing display of jumping out there.
And there's 3 individuals remaining before moving into our team of competitors. It's Virginia Bonnie aboard Nina Bonnie's.
Another competitor returning as an individual, Virginia Bonnie for USA Zone 3. Fidea, the ride for Nina Bonnie. Just last Sunday was winner of the High Junior Amateur Jumper Classic. Took that win aboard a different mount, gearing up Fidea for this very occasion. Most of these riders preserving their top horses for this championship. Quite a bit of jumping here. These horses need to be prepared just right in order to peak at this time. So Virginia and Fidea putting in a fabulous clear round so far. Just a triple combination on the final line, still left to go. This is the final team event for these FEI North American Youth Championships. Tomorrow will be the individual final for the children's and the pre-junior division. Sunday we'll see the individual final for the junior and the young rider divisions. These riders here today will get a bit of a break tomorrow. Return for their individual final on Sunday. So Nicole Velasco Magana competing individually for Mexico. Next to take to the ring, Daddy's Destiny, the ride for Alvaro Velasco. Several top young riders from Mexico competing as individuals among all the different levels here at North American Youth Championships. Of course, all of the riders here share that common goal of wanting to make more senior national teams competing for their nations across the globe. So many different opportunities to do that. Of course, we see across the pond in Denmark, the highest level, competing at the World Championships. I'm sure the aspirations of many of these young riders to represent their team on the absolute highest stage. But this is the very beginning here. Some of them have been on teams before, but for others it's their first time representing their country. Just going to drop a leg there, kick out that front rail. So carrying on the 4. Just the 1 down, keeps it to 4 faults for Nicole Velasco Magana. Very strong round there, 76.62 quick time. So the final individual on course before we advance to the teams that remain in contention. Ellie Duke for Canada 2. Right aboard Ilana. 9-year-old mare by Contender. Out of a Contender mare rather by KVF Tacord. Jumps very nicely through that triple combination. Still just carrying on the 4. So 4 fault round there for Hallie Duke and Ilana. So that concludes the individual section of this returning order. Rest of the competitors will be competing for team medals here today. And kicking off that team effort from Zone 1, Layla Kurbanov, Atois Deprim. She was first out of the gate in that first round as well. Also jumped a clear round. The sole clear for her team. Her team finished on 12 faults. Carrying forward 17.21 penalties from yesterday. So first rail yet for Layla here on this occasion. Winner of a 2-star class during Major League show jumping. That just last week, so that was aboard a different horse. I saved this horse particularly for these North American Youth Championships. Horse formerly ridden by her trainer, Sydney Schulman Desiderio. So another one falls for Layla. It's one thing to jump a clear round. Here, it's another game entirely to jump double clear. It's a lot of pressure on these riders. So coming home on 8 faults for round 2. Clear and an 8 for Layla Kurbanov for Zone 1.
Number 10 up next, the first of their 4 riders is Zoe Brown. 4 hauls from round 1 of team competition for Zoe.
First ride for Zoe Brown for zone 10. Carries forward the 4 faults. That was the drop score for zone 10, finishing on just 8 for that team. Zoe riding for Harley Brown, equestrian aboard Chase. Zone 10 currently sits in 4th place in this returning order. 20.74 total penalties across the 2 days of competition. These riders looking to not add any more faults onto that score. Really good display of moving forward for that water fence and then collecting for the oxer by the in-gate. We've seen many have that down. Really causes these riders to kind of lose track of their rhythm. Good rub there at the second to last, but still on the clear, and it's a clear round for Zoe Brown. She's within that time allowed too, so she records a clear for that zone 10 team. So excellent jumping, improved upon her 4-fault score from that first round. What so many of them are looking to do. They jumped clear. We just want to do so again. They had rails down. They want to try to improve upon that score, put their team in a more favorable position. So from the sole team left for Canada, Canada 1 team. Eric Crowett, the first to jump for this team. Sport Cactus de Cosnier. Another rider with a 4-fault score in that first round. Canada 1 sitting in 3rd. Quite a bit of space between them and the current 2nd place competitor, Zone 4. Canada sitting on 18.07 penalties, 2nd place team on 6.17. So they have a couple rails in hand over Canada. But Eric jumping a fabulous round here today. If anything, they just want to fight to keep that bronze medal position that they come into this competition in. They also have a drop score in their pocket. So starting out with a clear would really set the tone nicely for this 2nd round. And a clear it is. Eric Crowett records a full free score for the Canada 1 team. Exactly how they would have wanted to get started here this afternoon. Still 3 more riders to come for that team, but already 1 clear. So for Zone 4, the team currently in 2nd place. They brought forth a clean sheet in the last round, just nothing to add to that very small penalty of 6.17. Sheer Leviton, the first rider in this round 2. Jumped a clear round in round 1 aboard Vitus K. I'm looking to do just the same. The added benefit of course being exactly the same. They have already jumped it once. They know they can do it again. It's just a matter of whether luck is on their side. We know all of these riders are skilled enough to jump this course clear. Looks like it's just not going to happen a second time for Sheer Leviton. Just such a big accomplishment just to get to this level. So now just looking to keep it to the 4. It's very close at the top in contention for that gold medal. Zones 5 and 7 are on 5.68 penalties. Zone 4 could still finish on the 6.17 if this ends up as their drop score. But that does put pressure on the remaining 3 riders. They would each have to pull out a clear round. So 4 faults for Sheer Leviton. Again, so early in the game, so hard to tell how the rest of this is going to unfold. We've already seen quite a bit of movement from the top spot in these team competitions. So just because a team holds the lead now does not automatically guarantee they will take that gold medal. But they're definitely going to give it their all. Alexandra Pilot for zones 5 and 7. She recorded the drop score in that round 1. Her 3 teammates recording clear rounds. She did take that 3rd place finish though yesterday in the speed round. Very quick, first one out of the gate. Held on to that lead until Sam Walker and Tanner Karotkin moved ahead of her. So this team currently holds the lead with 5.68 penalties. Really strong representatives from zones 5 and 7. Alexandra representing zone 5. Has had a stellar outing here at the North American Youth Championships. Quite an accomplishment to ride into the top 3 in that first individual round. And she is still on the clear. She just has 1 line left to jump. She may have to pay a little attention to the clock here. Comes home in the 5 and stops the clock just in time. So she does improve upon her score. She records a clear round for that team from zones 5 and 7. Off to a great start for that team. So looking very good indeed. Still hold on to that lead. Well, quite a few riders here left to jump. So the lead could certainly change hands, but for now it still belongs to that current leading team from zones 5 and 7. Eva Fisherman, second rider for zone 1. Had 8 faults in the first round. She's riding Casalvano, 13-year-old Holsteiner gelding by Casal. Very strong partnership coming together at the international level. But this horse, a true star, 5-star winner with Germany's Daniel Deusser. Off to a great start with Eva in the irons. So zone 1 already on 8 faults for this round. Add 1 more to that. Again, they can drop one of their scores. They finished on 12 in the first round to add to their 17.21 coming into that round. So still on the 4, just one line left to jump. And another one comes down. So another score of 8 for zone 1. One of those 8s will have to count. So first rider for the team from zone 2, just 3 riders on this team. Only team of 3. So there's a slight disadvantage because they don't have a drop score. They recorded 16 faults in that first round, combined with the 12.36 penalties moving forward. Hunter aboard Escada. MDHT Equestrian owns this horse. 13-year-old Dutch warm-blood mare by Otangelo. It's team day, making for great camaraderie in the stands. So many fans, family members, friends, team members up there riding every step with these riders. Just didn't quite find the right spot to that skinny. Also has a foot in the water as well. It's a difficult line to not get the right one into. Quite a bit of recovery required in a short amount of time. Kick out the back rail of the Tulip Oxer as well. Coming down to the last, keeps that one intact. So 16 to add to the final score for zone 2. Again, with only 3 riders, all of these scores will count. Returning for zone 10, Kate Hovland and Cruz. Kate, a co-owner of this horse, along with David and Tanya Hovland, and the 13-year-old Dutch warm-blood gelding. Zone 10 in a very good position at the moment. Zoe Brown recording that first clear round. So taking a little bit of the pressure off her remaining team members. But they still have quite a bit to make up if they want to secure a spot on the podium. They came into this on 4th, the second round on 4th place. So 4th place does not get a spot on the podium. But depending on what shakes out in the top 3 spots, a strong performance in this round could change their fate. Just going to kick out the front rail of that Oxer right there by the in-gate. Has been a problem for quite a few pairs. As they come down the last line, still just on the 1 down. They keep it to just 4. So still an excellent round put in for zone 10. No rider has recorded more than just a single rail down in team competition here. They've had 2 clear rounds. They've had 4 on just the one rail. So 20.74 penalties in total at this point. Still 2 more team riders to jump. For Canada, 1 already sitting on the 1 clear put in by Eric Crowett. Next to jump, Lauren Esdale. Pauline Esdale's Viamdios d'Avril. They were the drop scorer for their team in round 1, looking to come back and provide that clear. Pair looking quite good. They're still on the clear. So jumping just foot perfectly through that triple combination. This is a very good round. They jumped. And she gets it done. That was an incredible round. Nothing to add from Lauren Esdale to Canada 1's score. Still 0 for this round 2. They collected 8 faults in round 1 to add to their 10.07 penalties, so they sit in the lead with still 2 more teams to jump their second rider before we reach the halfway point of this second round of team competition. For Zone 4, one of the 2 teams that jumped to a completely clean slate in that round 1. Zena herself recording a clear round, 3.02 penalties for the rider, 6.17 penalties in total for the team. Zena Rizvi, an excellent Zena with the ride for Peacock Ridge LLC. Already a winner in international competition right here in this arena in Traverse City. Very careful horse. An expert young rider, just 17 years old, but so experienced already. I'm putting in another beautiful round already. Team members all watching, anxiously awaiting to see how their team members are going to perform. Just 1 from home, could be the second clear round, or the first clear round rather. So second clear round for her, but first clear round for round 2 for her team. So Zena Rizvi just truly on fire. What a round she just put in. 2 clear rounds here today. Zone 4 takes over the lead, 6.17 penalties. So in round 2, they've jumped to a 4 fault and a clear round. The next 2 riders can jump clear. They can discard that 4 and be in contention for the gold medal. So rider for the team currently sitting on the lowest penalties. This is Alexander Alston and Prestigious, riding for Alston Alliance LLC. Another rider to jump clear in that first round. clear effort that contributed to that clear slate for the team, advancing on just 5.68 penalties. They hold down that lead. It's a very delicate balance because directly behind them on 6.17 penalties is Zone 4. So one rail down could completely change the outcome of these medals. But right now, Alex Alston still on the clear. Quite a bit of encouragement through that triple combination, but it isn't enough. He's going to take down the B element of that triple. However, on a team of 4, they will have a drop score. So just the one down. 78.91, the time on the clock for Alex Alston, prestigious. So that team could still finish on 5.68 penalties. So they retain their lead halfway through this team competition. There are your current standings. Third rider now for these upcoming teams. Emma Seving, the first for Zone 1. Aboard Brighton Bay. And a bit of a mishap in the triple combination in round 1. But looking to improve her score, contribute to the team's success. Maybe rise in the results slightly. Giving this quite the ride. Zone 1 already on 2 rounds of 8 fault scores. Ideally discard one of those. If Emma can manage to jump clear, that would be a huge asset for this team. But she is not going to jump clear today, bringing down fence 9. It's been a problem for several competitors. Fights ferociously through that triple combination, gets out with no problems. And the 5 down the last line. So it keeps it to the 4. They can still drop one of their 8 fault rounds. And just one rider remains for that team. So 41.21 penalties at the moment. So second rider for the team from Zone 2. This is Mia Bagnato and Dundalk for Elon Farm. We're 17 years old. Mia recorded an 8 fault score in round 1 so far. Their team sits on 16 penalties from that round, plus the 16 from the first team member in the second round. So another rail falls and that double combination. Tricky spot to be in on a team of just 3 riders, knowing that all your scores will count, all 3 of them picking up at least one rail down in that first round. So far on to 16 faults for Mia in the second round. Consistency through the 2 rounds is a very tough act to achieve. But clears the last, so 5 down on course for that pair. So 1 more to jump for that team. So on to the third rider for Zone 10. Strong performance so far in this team competition. Clear round reported by Zoe Brown in the second round. Just 1 rail from Kate Hovland. Now Alexa Leong's turn to try to turn in a clear round aboard Carlson. Does the 5 strides from the triple bar to the skinny plank, but does not get away with that. Also the very big stride. That line walking about 5.5 strides. So most are opting to do the 6. One of the many technical elements set on this course. So Alexa returning on a 4 fault score from the first round. But she keeps it to the 4, so that is still a very important round there for Alexa Leong, just within that time allowed. So still no riders on Zone 10 recording more than just a single rail. So very strong performance just across the board for that team. 24-74, the final penalties, awaiting that last rider. So the third team member for Canada 1, this is Sarah Tyndale. Elko Van Hoff der Nelen recorded a clear round in the first round of team competition, and so far both of her teammates have jumped clear. So 1 more clear round, they can finish on a clean slate. If they were to do that, they could secure at least the bronze medal. Coming into this team competition in 3rd place. Quite a bit of distance, though, between them and the 2nd place finisher at the moment. They can, unfortunately, this is not going to be a clear round with that double falling. However, if they can stay to the 4, they're still about 12 points off the 2nd place competitors. There would need to be a few more rails to fall in order for Canada 1 to take a position higher than bronze. However, they do have a rail in hand to guarantee them that bronze. If they finish on a total of 4 in this round, they can still take the bronze medal. Becomes slightly trickier territory if they have more than a rail fall. But Sarah Tyndale keeps it to just the 4. So Sam Walker still to jump for Canada 1. Try and put in that clear round to secure them that bronze medal. For Zone 4, next pair to jump, Ellie Yeager and Iceman Demuse. This 14-year-old stallion. This pair was the drop score in round 1. Zone 4 still recorded a clean slate. All other team members jumping clear rounds. So far, Zaina Rizvi has jumped clear. They also sit on the 4 from Sheer Leviton. So looking for 2 more clear rounds in order to finish this team competition on the clear. Ellie Yeager definitely more than capable of that. Looking to improve upon that score from the first round. They sit neck and neck with the current leaders, less than 1 full point away from each other. I'm just giving the second round an excellent ride here today. Just unfortunately kind of swims through that B element of the triple combination, has the back rail down as a result. So one of these 4 fault rounds will count. Flies over the last, so keeps it just to 4. Still a very strong round, very much improved from the first time out in this team competition. And 1 more to jump for that team, but they will add 4 faults. So they slide into the second place position. If Tanner Carreras can jump clear, they will still secure that silver medal. So third rider for zones 5 and 7, current leaders. This is Sophia Katie and Daylin. Jumped clear in that first round of this team competition, as did team members Alex Alston and Charlize Casas. Finish on that clean slate, advance on the 5.68 penalties that they had coming in. Right now they sit on a 0 and a 4 fault round. If they can pull out 2 more clears, they can drop that 4 and maintain their lead. Claim that gold medal. So coming around to this last line, still on the clear. This could be very important for this team. And she jumps the clear round. She clears the last, quick time. Incredible jumping efforts out there. So another clear round for the team from zones 5 and 7. Sophia Katie holding on to that lead right now. They still sit on a clean slate, assuming that that 4 fault score from Alex Alston can be dropped. It all depends on how Charlize Casas jumps. But even with 1 rail, they can still take that gold medal. Zone 4 sitting on a best possible score of 10.17 faults. So returning to zone 1. Final rotation here for this team competition in the young rider division. The Gotham North FEI North American Youth Championships presented by USHJA. We have one more rider from each of the 6 zones coming forward in the second round of team competition. First of those for Zone 1, Skylar Fields and Cornetta. Jump to a 4-fault score in round 1. Team currently sitting on a pair of 8s and a 4. Not a whole lot that this rider can do to change her team's current placing, but still going to try her best regardless. Also competing individually, looking for top placings as an individual as well. She records a clear round. So wasn't a ton of room for improvement for her team. However, she did come in with that clear round. They finish on 12 for each of those 2 rounds of competition. Total is 41.21 penalties for Zone 1. So a couple of clear rounds in there. Very well ridden by Skylar Fields. Final rider for Zone 2, Audrey Schulz and Lord Up, coming back on a 4-fault score. Teammates ran into a little bit of trouble with some of the rails in this second round. Carrying 16 faults from that first round on the team. And all 3 scores will count, so at the moment for round 2, they're on 36. But again, Audrey competing as an individual, looking to add that clear score to her name. Very competitive pair, this duo. Already FEI wins together. And Audrey, an FEI winner right here in Traverse City. National Grand Prix winner as well. Trains with Sydney Schulman-Desiderio of Backcountry Farm, another incredible winner here in Traverse City. Learning from one of the best. Just putting in a fabulous round here today. Looking to improve upon her 4-fault score from that first round. And exactly that she does, 73-78. Very efficient trip around this ring here today, but more importantly, 0 faults. So they finish on 36 for that round 2 effort. 64-36 total penalties. Find themselves in the 6th position. So Zone 10 looking to redeem themselves as well. Currently recording 2 4-fault scores in the second round of competition. Brought forth 8 from round 1. 12.74 penalties upon beginning competition today. Final rider for Zone 10, Elena Haas and Santana. Santana, her ride for the North American Youth Championships in 2021, jumped quite a few clear rounds on that occasion. Had just 1 down earlier today. 2.74 penalties carried forward from yesterday's round. Of course, that number, a factor determined by comparing all of the times. There were no faults assigned in yesterday's speed class. You just added 4 seconds to your ultimate time with any rails down on course. And then the time became the deciding factor. Tanner Karotkin still holds that lead fastest competitor in a clear round earlier today. Team members all standing on the hill, watching what's about to unfold in this team competition as we get closer. Just pulls that B element of the triple combination, one that we've seen fall quite a few times today. Very technical track for these young riders. Quite a few very impressive rounds. Elena picking up another score of 4 for a total of 8 for the team from Zone 10. They're going to finish on 28.74 penalties, take over 4th place. So the medals all come down to these remaining 3 teams. Canada 1 up next, their final rider, Sam Walker. They're looking at a best possible score of 18.07 penalties. They are locked in at that bronze medal level. Sam Walker, if he can record a clear, they'll stay on 18.07. However, with Zone 4 currently sitting on a worst possible score of 8 faults for this round, that would put them on 14.17 penalties. So the bronze has been decidedly awarded to the Canada team. However, they do still have to finish their jumping. Sam Walker also competing as an individual, trying to put in his best effort, coming off a 4-fault round. Another rail is going to fall for Sam Walker. So one of the 4-fault rounds will have to count for this team, putting them on 22.07 penalties, but still in the bronze medal position regardless. So he keeps it to just the 1 down. They finish on a total score of 4 for that round, 12 for the overall team competition today. 22.07 penalties for a 3rd place finish. So it all comes down to the remaining 2 riders. The 2 teams at the top, very close to one another. No score is final yet. But Tanner Karotkin going to try to seal the deal for this team from Zone 4 aboard Ideal. Also current individual leader. If he can jump clear right here today, he can hold on to that lead as he goes into the individual final, but he is not going to do that here today. Just World International. Oxer coming down for the Zone 4 athlete. So his lead starts to slip away. Charlize Casas set in pole position to jump a clear round. This team will ultimately record an 8-fault score. But now Tanner Karotkin just trying to keep the rest of these fences up aboard his 5-star partner, Ideal. Uncharacteristic early rail for the pair, but jumping fabulously now. So keeps it to the 4. That team can drop one of their 4 fault rounds. But they do finish on 8. So that does put Charlize Casas in a very good position because her team has already secured the gold medal. With just 4 to add, they have 2 on the clear, 1 on the 4. They're looking at a lowest possible score of 5.68. If she can jump clear, they can keep a clear across the board, double clear efforts through both rounds of competition. However, if she has 1 rail down or more, then their 1 4-fault round will count for a total of 9.68 penalties, still lower than the 14.17 set forth by Zone 4. So the pressure is off for this young rider. However, still competing as an individual. She jumped clear in that first round of the team competition, coming forward on 1.48 penalties, so she is in contention for that individual gold medal. So jumping clear here right now is crucial for her. Both of the leaders in the first qualifier, Tanner Karotkin and Sam Walker, have had rails today. And Charlize Casas is going to have one as well. So this individual competition will get very close there at the top. But she will still have something to smile about, being the gold medal winning team. As she comes to the last, if she can keep it up, she will stay on the 4. So still a very good score for her. Her team finishes on 4. That puts them on a total 2-round score of just 1 pole. So very impressive finish for that team. From zones 5 and 7, gold medal winning team there, 9.68 penalties in total. So very impressive turnout for them. Zone 4 captures the silver medal. Canada 1 is going to take bronze. So congratulations to all those medal winners. Very well deserved. Incredible efforts out there jumping this very technical track. So that wraps up the Young Riders team final here for the Gotham North FEI North American Youth Championships presented by USHJA. Zone 10 is going to end up in 4th. Zone 1 takes 5th and 6th place to Zone 2. There you see the final results. So a huge congratulations to those medal earning teams. Fabulous display of riding there at the 1.45 fence height. These riders get a bit of a break now while they gear up for Sunday's individual final. You can catch that action all on USEF Network or on ESPN 3. We return tomorrow on USEF Network for the children's and pre-junior individual finals. But that wraps up competition here today. Huge congratulations to zones 5 and 7 for the combined team there winning the gold medal.
medalists coming in for the Young Rider Division in this year's team competition at the North American Youth Championships, and the bronze medal will go to the team from Canada. Canada won, taking the bronze. Eric Crowan with Cactus across the air. Lauren Estelle with Elgios Gabriel. Sarah Sentel with Elko and Officer Halen. And Sam Walker with Candy. Silver medalist in next, zone of 4 takes the silver from the Young Rider Division at team competition at the North American Youth Championships for 2022. Sheer Leviton and Finest Kate. Dana Ritchie with Excellent. Ellie Yeager with Iceman Demuse. Tanner Carreras with Idea. Here's the gold medalist from the combined group of zones 5 and 7. Alexandra Pilot with High Box. Alexandra Alston with Prestigious. Sylvia Key with Elaine. And Charlize Cassis with Receipt. Easy. And they'll make their way over to the podium. We continue our presentation here to the top 3 teams. And in this year's Young Rider Division for the North American Youth Championships. Medalists to take their place on the podium first, and that's Canada 1. The team with Eric Crowan, Lauren Esdell, Sarah Tendall, and Sam Walker taking the bronze for Canada and the Young Rider Division at the North American Youth Jumping Championship. President of the ground jury, Gabriella Koshek, and President of the Youth Tom O'Mara on hand for our presentation here this afternoon. Over goes to zone of 4, and the riders are making up the team for zone 4, Sheer Leviton, Dana Ritchie, Ellie Yeager, and Tanner Carreras. And the gold will go to the team from zones 5 and 7. Alexandra Pilot, Alexander Austin, Sylvia Kate, Charlize Cassis, and your gold medalist for zones 5 and 7 in the Young Rider Division this year's North American Youth Jumping Championship.
This time, if you would please rise and remove cover for the Star Spangled Banner in honor of this year's winning team in the Young Rider division. Riders to remount for the victory gallop. Don't forget to join us tomorrow as we continue with the children's and pre-junior riders in their farewell class and then their individual final as well on our Saturday schedule here in the Turtle Creek Casino International Ring. Gold medalists to lead us on a victory gallop. That's the group from zones 5 and 7. And again, we'd like to congratulate Alexandra Pilot, Alexander Alston, Sophia Cady, and Charlize Cassis, that gold medal group from zones 5 and 7, as they get set for their tour of victory. Following in second, the silver medalist from Zone 4, Sheer Leviton, Xander Ritzby, Ellie Yeager, Tanner Karatkin, and the team from Canada takes the bronze in the Young Rider division. Eric Crowell, Lauren Esdell, Sarah Tyndall, Sam Walker. Another round of applause for our gold medalists as they take one more tour here around the Turtle Creek Casino International Ring. A gold medal going to Alexandra Pilot, Alexander Alston, Sophia Caton, and to Charlize Cassis of the Young Rider Division, this year's North American Youth Championships. And a reminder, these riders will be back Sunday, and for the first time ever on Sunday, Gotham North FEI North American Youth Championships, the individual Young Rider Final will stream live on ESPN3 and be available on demand.